Hey everybody, now I know what you're thinking. Roller, how many of these full hookup videos are you going to put out here, man? I mean, you should have had this done in the first video, right? Stick with me, guys. I've got a couple other things that I want to show you. Alright, so after I made the last video, I got some really good feedback from, I'd like to give a shout out to Wayne Halliday. Wayne Halliday, really great guy, very knowledgeable and experienced when it comes to RVs. I met Wayne, met up with Wayne up in Salem, and so he watched the last video in regards to the pressure regulator that I had here installed right at the city water fill, and he pointed out to me that, you know, that should really be installed at the faucet, not here. And that could be a reason why my hose had bulged and worn out, is because I didn't have the pressure regulator before it enters the white drinking hose. So I went ahead and removed it from here and put it at the spigot. So here it is at the spigot, just installed right here, and you'll notice that there is an arrow, the direction of flow, so that's important. I mean, it only goes on one way, but they do have an arrow. So I think that's going to make a big difference having it there versus the other place. So, you know, because it's gonna reduce that pressure down to 40-50 psi right here. So again, I just want to thanks Wayne for pointing that out. So in further talking about the sewer hose, there's a couple of other parts that I left out. I wanted to cover on the sewer hose. So when you buy that Rhino-Flex hose, it does come with these two caps for both ends of that sewer line, so you can cap them off and cap off the smells and prevent any leaking, any water leaking from the hose. And they work perfect. And these are made by Camco RV. You could probably buy these separately for your hose if you don't have them, but they do come with that kit. So I did want to point that out. And then this other cap here, this other cap is what you would put on after you remove the sewer hose, and you're going to go into transport mode. So you'd remove the sewer hose, and then that cap would cam lock on here to this 45 adapter clean out. Okay, so another important thing that I did want to cover, that I have covered in previous videos, but since this is the final episode talking about full hookups, I want to make sure that I cover everything. So this is where I store the sewer hose in the truck, and this is the solution that I came up with, and I'm very happy with it. I just went down to the hardware store, bought some aluminum flat stock, and I just bent it to fit, and I bolted these to the truck cap. And that's just a sewer hose, you know, storage area. And it, like I said, it's working out perfect with those caps that come with the hose. There's no leakage. You don't get any funky smells or anything like that. It's very easy to deploy, to store it, to get it in and out of the truck. It doesn't interfere with anything. Doesn't make any contact with the truck camper. I can leave the hose in there. If I take the truck camper off the truck, I can still leave the hose in there. It does not get in the way of anything. I know some people have gone down and to the hardware store and made their own square, like fence post square tubing, plastic PVC fence post square tubing, and they've configured something and they've mounted it underneath the camper. Like I said, this is just what's working well for me. Okay, the next thing I wanted to cover, and this came up in the comment section, was rinsing out the black tank. And I forgot to show the wand that I used to clean it out. So I conveniently store it here in the bumper. And it's basically this guy right here. This is made by Camco. It's a tank rinser. It's got a valve there, or a shut-off valve. And then it has this spray pattern configuration. And again, some of the research that I did, this had a lot of great reviews, and it does work very well. I rinse the black tank out about every 3 months. And then this other tool, I'm assuming, is a sewer lid tool to lift up the sewer lid at the tank over there. So I'm assuming that's what this tool is for. This came with the camper. So if it isn't, please, anybody watches, inform me differently if it's for something else. And I did want to talk a little bit more about the dump valve compartment. A couple of things specific to this truck camper, and then they would also apply to other types of other RVs. So we've got the black tank valve here, and then behind here is the gray tank valve. I typically leave the gray tank valve open all the time. The black valve that always stays shut. And then when the tank is full, by reading the indicator levels inside, when the black tank is full, then I dump it. One other thing that I noticed that Northern Light did on this camper is they installed the light in here, and it has an incandescent bulb, so it's not LED. So that incandescent bulb is going to transmit a little bit more heat than the LEDs would. So I realized that they did that for a reason, and that would be for winter camping in the cold. You can just turn that lamp on, and that's going to radiate some heat into this dump tank compartment and keep it warm and keep things from freezing. So your dump tank compartment may have a similar feature to that, but I thought that was pretty neat that Northern Light did. A couple of other questions asked about how do you keep the water lines from freezing, and to me, what I would do is I would pour antifreeze in all of the tanks, the freshwater tank, the gray water tank, and the black water tank. I would have a good amount of antifreeze in there, and I would just continue to keep antifreeze if I'm going to be, I would just continue to keep antifreeze in the system and just running everything, and I would just use everything normally as I would. So fill the freshwater tank up with water and put antifreeze in there, and I should be good to go. So that's what I would do for winter camping. Just keep antifreeze and everything. Another important thing to do is there are locks on these dump tank doors, and one thing I realized is that if you just close the tank compartment like that, a lot of times these doors, they won't seal up real tight, and then that's when you would lock it up. And then when you do that, it tightens and it makes a leak tight seal. So that's something else that's kind of I had learned. I had left this door unlocked for a couple months last winter, and you can see there's a little bit of corrosion that had built up on these locks. Nothing major, but if you do, you could get some corrosion and stuff that build up on some of the fasteners and stuff. So that's another important tip that I learned. So without getting into too detail with all of these valves and everything, it's pretty simple. I've got this valve here is the freshwater drain valve right here, and then this is where you would blow out. You would attach this extra hose to it to blow out the water, and I believe you can also use the pump to suck in antifreeze. So if you've got antifreeze and you want to put it in the system, this is how you would do it. You would connect this to here, and then you would just put that end into your gallon of antifreeze, and you would pump it into the system using the water pump. And I'm not sure how to do that, but there are some instructions. So there are valves in here for turning the hot water off, cold water off, and so forth. So that's going to wrap it up, guys. That's going to wrap up this is going to be the final episode here on Full Hookups. I appreciate everybody's commenting, feedback, and if you can think of a few other ideas, some suggestions, please comment below. Until next time, this is West Coast Roller signing off.